Good morning, Malit. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good morning to you.
Good morning. So Maunir is also there. Good morning, Maunir.
Good morning.
So Malit, what we will do is initially let's start with the CPA analysis. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
So now I am not going to teach you the method what is there in the study text. Okay, Malit.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
in the study text, the method is very much technical rather than logical. So CPA analysis, network diagram, we generally say. So if it is diagram, Malik, the meaning is this is a graphical presentation. Graphical presentation, okay,
Presentation.
of the project time. So why we do this is, Malik, first thing to identify critical activities. What is that? Critical activities. Now, example, Malik, if you are working in the aeroplane industry, you need
Okay.
to pump in the fuel, right?
Hmm.
Critical or not critical?
Very critical.
Critical. Security checks are critical. But, Malik, have you sometimes in aeroplane, there will be polythene covers everything. Previous passengers. By any chance, have you seen that, Malik? A little bit of
Yes.
junk will be there. Is that a critical activity or not a critical activity? Not a critical activity, right,
Not a
Malik?
critical activity.
So are you getting the understanding, student? So in a business, companies should be able to focus on what activities first priority, critical
Hmm.
activities. So can I just write down that aeroplane example, Malik? Yes or no? Now, aeroplane, if you observe the critical activities are fuel, right? Mainly
Yes.
fuel. After that, braking system, yes or no, Malik? Brakes are important,
Hmm.
agree, no, Malik? And then I can say the security checks are very important, agree, no, Malik? But the next thing I can say is cleanliness, in the sense I can say like basic, I can say basic polythene wrappers, everything. Sometimes have you seen, Malik? Wraps, everything will be there. Sometimes, yes or no, Malik?
Hmm.
Previous passengers one, agree, no, Malik? And sometimes have you seen the magazines will be upside down rather than like this straight? Have you ever observed that, Malik? It will be other way around by chance, because those activities are non-critical activities. Are you clear with what I'm saying there, Malik? Yes or no?
So
Good.
whatever not stopping the business.
Whatever
Non-critical.
process, not stopping the process. Correct, no, Malik?
Hmm.
Yes or no? But
Yes.
non-critical activities are, without that also it can go, but
Hmm.
critical activities without that it can't go. Example, Malik, you're going to do the exams at your home. Okay, Malik?
Yes.
Wi-Fi requirement is critical or not critical?
Critical.
Electricity,
Yes. Critical.
fan.
Non-critical.
Ah, are you now clear? Yes or no, students? Now,
Yes.
Yes.
without fan also you can do the exam, right, Malit? Yes or no?
Hmm.
But
Yes.
without Wi-Fi, without electricity, you can't do that, right? Agree, no, Malik? Make sense or
Yes.
doesn't make sense?
Makes
So,
sense.
students, now I will just guide you on the application. So, Malik, do you observe this question here? Yes or no, Malik? Do you observe this
Yes.
question? So students,
Yes.
here they have given activity A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So if you
Hmm.
see A is the first activity. Why? Because in order to start A, do you need to complete any activities? No. Do you see a dash
Hmm.
here? Yes or no, Malik?
Yes.
Maunir,
Yes.
do you see this dash here?
Yes. Yes.
But if you want to do B, you need to start doing what? A.
A.
Example, Malik, if you want to make tea, the first thing is water, right? Boiling the water. Agree
Yes.
or not agree,
Yes.
Malik? Yes or no?
Hmm.
So
Yes.
water must be boiled, then only, no, Malik, you can put the tea. Agree, no, if I'm not mistaken. Makes sense, right, Malik? Okay.
Yes.
But if you see, that is the observation. Okay. Now, do you see H? This is the last activity. So
Hmm.
fortunately, they will give you in this order only in the exams. But in the
Yes.
reality, sometimes you need to arrange it in the practical
Hmm.
working experience. But are you
Okay.
clear with this? So anything that
Yeah.
doesn't have a predecessor is what? The start.
First activity.
The start. Okay, so students, now I will just write down here step 1. What I am going to write down here, Malik? Step
Step
1.
1.
Okay, students, step 1, framing. I'm not going to do calculations. I'm going to do what, Malik? Framing. That means I'm going to observe how this works out. So the first activity is going to be what, Malik? A.
A.
After A, you see, if you see A is giving for two activities. One is B and other one is what? C.
C.
So what happens is, if A is completed, you can start doing what?
B and C together.
And C also together. Maunir, are you clear with that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, if you observe the other one, C has how many elements, Malik? E and F. Do you see the
F.
plan here? But B has only what? B has only what? D, right?
D only.
D only. So can I finish this one easily? Yes or no, Malik? So
Yes.
if B is over, you can start doing what? B,
D.
D. And if C is over, Malik, you will be eligible to do two activities. One activity is what, Malik?
E and F.
And the other activity is F. Is that fine, Malik? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, Malik, if you observe, if you want to produce a G, the activity G,
Yes.
you need to complete what? D and
D and
E.
D and E should give you G. And if you want to have H, what should give you? F and
G.
G.
F and G should give you what? H.
H.
This is only known as what, Malik? Framing.
Mm.
Are you fine with the framing?
Yes.
Students, if you
Yes.
don't mind, can you take the framing, please? So do you observe, students, every activity is interlinked. Every activity is what? Interlinked. Correct, no, students? Every activity is interlinked. Now, if you are constructing a house, A is like the preparation of the basement. Correct me if I'm wrong, Malik. Yes or no? And H is going to be the roof. Agree, no, Malik? You get what I'm saying? So that's how the engineering or the normal project management works out. So students, if you don't mind, can you please take this down? And then I will explain the application using the number method also.
A.
After taking it down, you can say yes.
Yeah, finish.
Yes, sir. Fine.
Yes. Okay, so Malit, now you are clear with the framing, right? This framing
Yes.
is clear now. So
Mm.
students, I will just teach you box method. Now in the study text, they don't have box method, they have node method. Now node
Mm.
method is circle method. Now I am going to teach you what method, students? A box method. Students, this is the basic template for the box method so that you won't get confused. Do you see, students? Yes or no? So students, 3 columns must be there. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so students, if you see in this box method, okay, this box is made out of like this one. This area is known as activity. What is that, Malik? Activity.
Activity.
This one is duration. That is the time. Okay.
Mm.
And this one is
Okay.
known as ES, which is early start. What is that? Early start. And this is LS, which is late start. Late start. And here EF, that is early finish. What is that? Early
Finish.
finish. And LF, which is late finish. Late
Mm.
finish. If you don't mind, can you please take this down, students? Activity, duration, early start, early finish, late finish. After taking it down, just let me know, students.
Finish.
Finish.
Done.
That. Now, Malik, I'm going to do the construction. Okay.
Mm.
So for A, I'm putting a box. Can we work together, students? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
For B, I am putting a box. Okay. For D, I am putting a box. Okay.
Hmm.
And likewise, I will do it for everything. The framing, what I have done, I am just completing it. Okay, students. For C, I am putting a box. Fine, no, students? Similarly, for E, I am putting another box. Is that fine, Malik? Yes or no? For
Yes, sir.
F, I am putting another box. That's also clear, right? For F also,
Mm.
there is another box. Okay, no, students? And then, students, for G, I am putting another box. For G, I am putting another box. And for final one is what, students? H.
H.
For H also, I am putting a another box. So complete the boxes first. Okay, Malik.
Yes, sir.
Students, after completing the boxes, you can say yes, then I will continue to explain. I'm just coloring this box so that you won't have any issues. Students, my line is going outside the box because of the alignment issue I'm having in this one. You all can keep the line within the box. Okay, no, Malik. I have a small
Yes.
alignment issue. It's not coming straight. That's what I am taking outside the box. But please, you can do it internally. Okay, Malik. Can we start working?
Yes.
Maunir, ready?
Yes.
Fauzan, ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now students, activity, this is A. What is the time duration for A, students? 3 weeks,
3.
right? 3. And if you see here activity B, what is the time duration for activity B, students? 4.
4.
And then activity C, I'll put like this in the center. What is the time duration for activity C? 2, right?
2.
And then students, activity D, what is the time duration, students?
5.
5.
5. And then students, activity E, what is the time
1.
duration? 1.
1.
And then students, activity F, what is the time duration, students?
2.
2.
2.
And then activity G, what is the time duration, students? It is
4.
4. And activity H, what is the time duration, students? It is 3. Now, if you don't mind, students, can you complete this, please?
Okay, sir.
Fauzan, that is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Maunir, is that
Yes.
clear for you? Yes. Please take it down, students. So framing and the data is finished. Fine with that, everyone? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, students, can we start to work?
Yes.
Maunir, ready for working?
Yes.
Malit, ready for working?
Yes, sir.
Now, for the first activity, you can start now itself. Agree, no, Malit? Yes or no?
Yes.
So early start is 0. Okay, early start is 0. So early, I can say early or the early finish or the late finish or the late start, 0 plus 3 is how much? 3, right?
3.
So this is the earliest time you can complete it. Is that fine, Malik? Yes or no? Agree? Because that is the
Yes.
earliest time you can finish it, students. Are you clear with what I'm saying? Okay. So if you don't mind, can you just put this down, please? I'll just make it as early finish. Sorry. Instead of late start, I'll finish at early finish. Sorry. Early finish, late finish, early start, late start. Okay. This one is late start, late finish. Okay, Malik?
Yes.
Fauzan, okay?
Yes.
Now, students, we need to work the earliest. So if you see here, in order to start activity B, you need to finish activity A, right? Agree, no, students?
Yes.
So
Yes.
activity A will finish in how many days? 3 days, right?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Let's make it weeks. It'll finish in 3 weeks. Agree, no, Malik? Yes or no? So
Yes.
activity B has how many duration? 4 weeks,
4
right?
weeks.
So 3 plus 4 is how much, students?
7.
7. So early finish is going to be how much? 7. Is
7.
that clear? Yes or no, students?
Yes.
Yes.
For C, okay, let's finish accordingly. For C, what will be the early start? 3
3
weeks, right? And 3 plus 2 is how much, students? 5. So earliest you can finish it by 5 weeks. Agree or
5
not
weeks.
agree, students? Yes or no?
Mm.
Fine with that. Clear?
Yeah.
And now let's go to the D. In order to start D, how many weeks it should take place to start D?
7.
7. So 7 plus 5 is how much, students?
12.
12. Is that fine, students? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I go with E, students?
Yes.
So in order to start activity E, how many days it will take or how many weeks it will take?
5.
5 weeks. And how many is the duration for E?
6.
1.
6.
So
And
6.
6.
Any questions there, students?
No.
Okay.
In order to start activity F, how many weeks it will go? The early start, 5 weeks. After 5 weeks, you can start. But how many weeks it will take? 2 weeks
7.
specially. So
7.
7 will be the early finish. Is that fine, students? Yes or no?
Yes.
Any questions, students?
Okay.
Is that fine? No, fine. Now, after that G, in order to start G, now there is a issue coming here. Here there is 12, here there is how much, students?
6.
6.
So in the earliest event, you should always go for the bigger number. What number, students? Bigger
12.
number. So bigger number is what?
12.
12. You get what I'm saying, students?
Mm.
This is the bigger number. So worst case scenario, it will take how many weeks to start G?
12.
12. So 12 plus 4, you can complete this within how many weeks?
16.
Any questions there, students? And if you see H, 16 is also there, 7 is also there. So what you will be taking as the early start?
16.
16 plus 3 is how much, students?
19.
19. Do you have any questions with the early start? So earliest event will be always from left to right. Left to what, students? Left to right. You get the point there. So Malit, any questions there? Fine.
So small issue.
Yes.
We have to consider all the projects. That's why we are taking the bigger number as 12, right?
Correct. Because Malit, if these two finishes only, this can start. Now, if this finish within 6 weeks, still you can't start it. You get what I'm saying? Because you can only start, this also must finish. So maximum you should wait until this also finishes. You get the point.
Yes.
Are you clear with what I'm saying there, Malik? Yes or no? Any questions, Malik?
No, okay.
So now let's come with the latest. In other words, maximum delay. So 19, you need to start from the reverse side. Okay. For the latest event. So it should going to be right to what? Right to what? Right to left. So 19 minus 3 is how much, students? 19 minus 3 is how much?
16.
16. Any questions there, students? Is that fine?
Yes.
So here it's going to be a 16, which is the G. Okay, let's focus on the G first. So 16 minus 4 is how much, students?
12.
12. Any questions
12.
there? And then, students, if you observe, the next one is F. So for F also, we need to go ahead with the 16. Okay, 16 minus 2 is how much, students? 14.
14.
Any questions there, students? Fine. For E, it's going to be 12. So 12 minus 1 is how much, students? 11. For D, it's going to be 12. So 12 minus 5 here, it's going to be how much, students?
7.
7. Any questions there, students? Now, if you observe these two, okay, students, if you observe these two, are you taking it down, students? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So, students, if you observe these two here, there are two numbers percepting. Agree, no, students? Like here, we took the bigger number. But in the latest event, students, you can't go with the bigger number. You should always go with what number, students? The smallest number. You get what I'm saying, students. You need to go with the smallest number. So I'll write down here smaller, opposite, okay? So 11 minus 2 is how much, students? 11 minus 2 is 9. Agree, no, students? Yes or no? And here, I'll bring 7. So 7 minus 4 is how much, students? 7 minus 4 is
3.
3. Now, students, again, there's an intersection. So 3 and 9. So you should always go with what, students? You should always go with what, students? The smaller number, which is what? 3. So 3 minus 3 is ultimately how much, students?
0.
0. So is this telling, students?
Yeah.
Here also it's 0, 0. And here also it's 19, 19. Yes or no, students? Agree or not agree? So students, can you just take this down? After that, I will give the critical path also. Early start, early finish. Late start, late what, students? Finish. Because Malit, late, if you go for the more late, the project will get what? Delayed, right?
Delayed.
Yes or no? So in a situation like this, you should go for the lowest amount that you can late. You get the point what I'm saying, Malit. Students, have you taken it down? You can let me know.
Yes.
Other students also, you can let me know if you have taken it down.
Yes, sir. Finish.
Maunir,
Finish.
now Malit, critical path is where all the numbers are equal. All the numbers are what, Malit? Equal. Now, if you see the early, this is the early and this is the late. Agree, no, Malit? Early start, early finish and late finish. Okay. So early and late, 3 and 3 is same. 7 and 7 is same. So this is one critical path. 12 and 12 is same. Yes or no, Malik? This is a critical path. 16 and 12 is also same critical path. And then this is what, Malik? 19 and 19 what? A critical path. So if you observe in this case study, what is the critical path I can generally say is A, B, D, G and what students? G and what students?
H.
H. A, B, D, and H. So students, can you just take the critical path? Fine, everyone?
Yes.
So Malik, now if you see here, the early start, if you see here, Malik, okay, 7 and 7. Do you see here 7 and 7? Yes or no, Malik? The early
Yes.
start equal, right? Now you can't delay it. Do you have a chance of delaying here, Malik? No, right? But here it's 5 and here it's how much, Malik? 11.
11.
3 and 9. So there is a delay amount of how many days, Malik? 6 days, right?
6.
There's a slack of how many days? 6 days. For 6 days, you can delay that. You get what I'm saying, Maunir. And if you see 7 and 16, you can delay it by how many days, students? 9 days. You get what I'm saying? Agree, no, Malik? And here you can delay it by how many days, Malik? 6 days, right, Malik? This one. Agree, no, Malik? But can you delay this activity, which is red color line? Can you delay this one? No, right, Malik? Now, if you delay it by 1 day, the project duration will end up as 20 days. You get what I'm saying, Malik? Are you understanding what I'm saying there? So
Yes.
students, in the critical path analysis, these items cannot be what, students? These items cannot be what, students? Delayed. Are you clear with what I'm saying, Malik? Yes or no? Clear? So coming back to the original explanation, can you remember aeroplane example I told you? If you delay the fuel, what will happen? Flight will get what? Delayed. Yes or no? If you delay the
Yes.
brake, if you delay the security, flight will get delayed. But the cleanliness, like the wrappers, everything, the magazine arrangement, will that delay the flight? No, right?
No.
I think in the flight you would have seen, right? Sometimes pillows are not properly arranged, everything. Sometimes have you seen like that, Malik? So that is not a critical activity. Are you clear with what I am saying there, Malik? Yes or no?
Yes.
And these activities are known as dummy activity. What activity, students? Dummy activity.
Dummy.
Are you clear with what I'm saying? That means these activities are essential, but it will not affect the project. Are you clear with what I'm saying? Value additions.
Yes.
So any questions, students? Don't worry, we have a lot of questions to be done. This is the first one we are doing. So any questions you have, Malik, you can ask me.
No, sir. Clear for so far. So
Clear,
far.
yeah.
Maunir, is it clear for you?
Yes, yes.
Fauzan, is it clear
Yes.
for you?
Yes, it's clear.
So I think this is the easiest way to understand the critical path analysis. Now, can I come and teach the CIMA method, students? Yes or no?
Yes.
Ready? So now in CIMA method, what happens is, students, the same thing is repeated, but there is only one problem, students. We are not going with the box method. In CIMA, we are going with something called node method.
Node.
What is that method? Node method. So I will just put this one. This is what, students? This is known as a node. You get
Node.
what I'm saying, Malik? And if you observe the node like this, okay, students, this node has the following components. One is the early finish and the late finish, okay? And this we say as earliest event time, and this one is latest event time. Are you clear with what I'm saying, students? Yes or no? Agree?
Yes.
But if you see here, this you will understand only if you know the box method. Are you clear what I'm saying, students? Yes or no? Okay. So now, students, here this 0 is represented in one box. Agree, no, students? Yes or no? But here 0 will be represented separately in what? Node. You get what I'm saying, students? Are you clear? So here we need to have a small note, students. Okay. Each activity, each activity, each activity will start with with node and end with what? End with what? End with what? End with what?
Node.
Node. Start with node, end with node. Are you clear what I'm saying there, students? Start with a node and end also with what? A node. Are you clear there, students? Yes or no? So if you don't mind, students, can you take that golden note there? Start with a node and end with a node. Start with a node and end with a node. Okay, Malik?
Yes.
Maunir, can I start explaining?
Yes.
Fauzan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now students, the framing we have already done. So what I will do is I'll start inserting the nodes. Okay, so how A will start is, this is not A. This is not the node for A, students. This node is for 0. This node is for what, Malik? 0. You get what I'm saying? This node is for 0. Okay, and this is an indication, it's a starting point. What point, Malik? Starting point. Are you clear with what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, students, if you observe this very much carefully, what I can specially say in that aspect is, this is how we do the working. I will just put an arrow like this, okay? And activity A is shown outside. Activity A is what, Malik? Shown outside the node, and we put the duration as how many days, Malik?
3.
3. Any questions there, students? And then, students, listen carefully. And then, students, we do have another node. We do have what, students? Another node. That means every activity will start with a node and end with a what? Node, right? Yes or no, students? Start with a node and end with a node. Are you clear with what I'm saying, students? Everything will start with a node and what? End with a node. So students, if you observe here, A has started with 0, right? Agree, no, students? Yes or no? A has started with what, students? 0. And now A needs to end. Agree, no, students? A needs to end. So it will take how many days for A to end, students?
3.
3. Any questions with that, students? Start with a node, end with a node. Are you clear with what I'm saying, students? Yes or no? Okay. So can I come to the next one, student? So if the A is completed, then it will give rise to what, students? It will give rise to what, students? B.
Yes.
So B will be how many weeks, students? 4 weeks. And also it will also give a rise to another component. What is that, students? What is that, students? C, right? And C will be how many weeks, students? 2. So B has started with a node, so it should what, students? It should what, students?
Finish with a node.
End also with a node. You get what I'm saying, students? Yes or no? It should end with a node. Are you clear with what I'm saying, students? Yes or no? So if it is going to end with a node, now see, students, in order to activity A to finish, it will take how many days, students? 3 days. For activity B to progress, it will take how many days?
4 days.
So 3 plus 4 is how much, student?
7.
7. Are you clear with that, students? Yes or no? Okay. And similarly, can I come to the next one, students? Yes or no? C has started with a node and it should also end with what, students? It should also end with what, students? A node. Agree, no, students? Yes or no? Started with a node and it should end also with a node. So can we start doing the appraisal, students? Yes or no? So students, if you want to start C, A should finish, right? A has started and finished. So it will take 3 days. And 3 plus 2 is how much, students?
5.
5. So any questions with that, students? Fine? Good. Now, if B has completed, now B has started and completed, then what is the proceeding activity for B, students? Proceeding activity for B is what, students?
D.
D. Agree, no, students? D. So can I just put a line and can I say that that is D, and D is going to take how many days, students? 5 days. Agree, no, students? Yes or no? So students, if I put a node here, if I put what, students? A node here, okay? You are observing that node. Now students, I'll just do the punctuation here. So ready now, students? We can work with that. Node is mentioned. So if D wants to complete in the earliest possible time, how many days it will take to complete D, students? 7 plus how much? 5, which is 12. So the fifth activity also. Is that fine, students? Yes or no? But students, if you observe C has how many activities in total? C has how many activities? 2 activities will start with C. So students, what I will do is I will connect a line like this. I will also connect a line below this. Are you clear with what I'm saying there, students? Yes or no? Is that clear for you, students? Yes. Yeah. So students, now if you observe here, for C, what's going to happen is, if C is completed, you can go ahead with what, students? E. E will take how many days, students? 1 days, right? Yes or no, students, agree? And if you see, F will take how many days, students? F will take 2 days. Any questions there, students? No. So it should start with a node and it should what, students? end with a node. Agree, no, students? So after completing the E activity number E, after completing activity number what, students? E. Shall we work on that, students? Activity number E. 5 plus 1 is how much, students? 5 plus 1 is how much, students?
6.
6. So that is the sixth activity. And then, students, coming down, if you want to complete the F, if you want to complete what, students? F. If you want to complete the F element, observe this very carefully, students. If you want to complete the F element successfully, okay, so it's going to be 5 plus 2, which is going to be how much, students? 7, right? So that is the seventh activity. Is that fine for you all, students? Yes or no? Agree?
Yes.
So students, we have completed the E, we have completed the F. Now, if you want a G, there should be an interrelationship between what, students? Interrelationship
D.
between D and E. So what I am going to do, students, the D and what, students?
E.
E should be completed. D and E should be what, students?
Completed.
Completed in order to produce something called what, students? In
E.
order to produce something called G. Sorry. In order to complete something called G. So students, look at this carefully. These two should be completed. These two should be completed in order to form G. Okay, so students, now here comes the intersection once again, because in the previous one, these two separated. But here, these two are going to what, students? These two are going to what, students? Combine, right? Agree, no, students? So students, these two needs to be combined. These two needs to be what, students? Combine in order to produce what, students? In order to produce what, students? In order to produce what, students?
Reduce
G.
G.
Agree, no,
G.
students? In order to produce G. So listen carefully, students. In order to produce G, G will be taking how many days, students?
4 days.
Now here comes the challenge. 12 and 6, which is the bigger number?
12.
12. So here we are creating another activity. Are you getting what I'm saying, students? You get the point there. Now this is the 7. These two should be completed maximum within how many days, students? 12 days. Okay, 6 and 12. So it should be completed maximum within 12 days, so that you can start doing what, students? You can start doing what, students? G. Are you understanding that, students? Yes, sir. So students, observe this. G is coming here. Agree, no, students? G is coming here. So if you observe the element of G, okay, if you observe the element of G, at the end of the day, 12 plus 4, how much, students? G will take how much? Maximum to complete, students? 16. 16. Students, are you clear with this intersection?
Yes.
Do you see this number 12 intersection, students? Are you clear? Yes or no? So that is the only question. And then, students, listen carefully. H. In order to get H, what and what should be combined, students? What and what should be combined?
F and G.
F and G should be combined. So listen carefully once again, students. So we are going to do another proceeding activity. What are we going to do, students? Another proceeding activity. Can I do like this forward looking? Do you see a line like this? Yes or no, students? Agree, no?
Yes.
Yes. And if these two are combined, so do you see here combining? Are you observing that, students? Yes or no? So again, students, we need to draw a circle. Okay, because this is a combination. You get what I am saying, students? Yes or no? So if you observe this carefully, students, observe this carefully. Okay, observe this carefully. So what's going to happen in this case? What's going to happen in this case? Students, what is the bigger number? 16 or 7?
16.
16. So these two activities should be completed, which is the 9th activity. If those two are completed only, students, it will be able to be done. What activity, students? Activity
H.
H. Agree, no, students? Activity H can be done. So the activity H will take how many days, students? 3 days. Are you clear with that? Yes or no? So ultimately, students, if you want to complete the project, okay, it should be completed. Earliest possible time is how much, students? Earliest possible time is how much, students?
19 days.
19 days. Can you please take this down, students? Any doubts you have, you can ask me. Earliest time is over. But the golden rule is start with a node and end with what?
No.
Node. Please take it down. So I will put this as the 10th activity. What activity, students? 10th activity. Are you clear with that, students? But if you observe here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But why number 10 is coming here? Main reason is there are two interrelated activities to make one activity. Are you clear what I'm saying, students? You got the point. Now, if you see the 9th activity and if you see the 7th activity, are ultimately an intersection. Are you clear with what I'm saying, students? Yes or no?
Yes.
Please take it down. Then I will work it backwards and do the latest. After taking it down, you can say yes, students.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Fauzan,
Yes, sir.
so can I come to the latest finish? So 19. Okay. So 19 minus 3 is how much, students?
16.
16. So here you don't have anything to minus, right, students? Yes or no? So here also I'm going to put what? 16. Any questions there, students? No questions, right? Because that's an intersection. And here also, can I put it at 16 students? Yes or no? Nothing to subtract, right? Agree, no, students? So here 16 minus 4 is how much? 12.
12.
Do you observe? 16 minus 4 is 12. So here, if you see, do you have anything to subtract? No. 12, and here it's going to be 12. Any questions there, students? No, right? Because this is the intersecting activity. You got what I'm saying. Okay. And then students, 12 minus 1 is 11. 16 minus 2 is what, students? 14.
Okay.
So here you should always go to the lowest. Are you understanding what I'm saying, students? Lowest. You got the point. But if you see in the previous one, we went for the highest, right? 12 and 6, the bigger number is what? 12, right? Yes or no? But if you see here, 12 and 16, the lowest number is what, students? 12. Are you clear with what I'm saying there, students? Yes or no? Because you can't go for the more delay. Are you clear with what I'm saying, Malik? Lesser the delay, better. Agree or not agree? Yes or no?
So it should be 11, no?
Sorry, 11. Sorry. 11. Are you clear with that, students? Yes or no? 12 minus 1 is what? 11. So similarly, 12 minus 5 here is how much, students? 7. That is also clear, no, students?
Yes.
Yes or no? Now here again an intersection. 7 minus 4 is how much, students? 3.
3.
11 minus 2 is how much? 9. So which is the smallest number?
3.
3.
That's 3.
And then students, 3 minus 3 is how much?
0.
0. Can you complete it, students? If you have completed, you can say yes, students.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So Malit, can we identify the critical path?
Yes.
Critical path is when both are same.
A, B,
Okay. A, B is also
B,
critical path. D is
B.
also critical path. And if you observe here,
G,
G.
G is also critical path. Yes or no, students? And then
H,
H is also critical path. And then it is coming. So can I write down the answer? A, B, D,
G, H.
G, H. Can we just compare this with the previous working, Malik? Correct, no?
Yes,
Same
same.
answer, no? Which is easier, Malik? First one or second one? Honest answer.
First one, there is a.
Please, Malik.
Yes.
Feedback is important.
Yes.
Tell
First
me,
one
please.
is. First one is looks good. All things are there, no? So, but it takes some time.
Okay.
But this is also okay.
Okay. So one more thing. Now I will come for the explanation. So Malik, if you see the activity number 4, okay, the C activity, there is a slack of how many days, Malik?
6 days.
6 days, right? You observe that, right? There is a
Yes.
6 days, and here also there is a 6-day slack. Here there is a slack of how many days? 9 days, right?
9 days.
If I'm not mistaken. So I think you can observe this. Agree, no, students? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
So this can be delayed for 6 days, but activity won't get affected, right, Malik? This can also be delayed for 6 days maximum. Are you clear with what I'm saying, Malik? Agree or not agree?
Agrees.
Malik, any questions? Maunir, which method is good for you?
Second.
Or second method is good for you, Maunir?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fauzan, second method is
Second,
good.
second, yes.
Second. So Malik, my class plan for today was explain both the methods in all the question and teach. So what do you suggest for me? Should I go with that technique or shall I only start with the node method?
Because we start with the first one. The second one seems easy.
Easy, right? I
Yes.
think
Mm.
so.
Yes.
What do you
Yeah.
think, Malik?
Yes.
Because
Mm.
first
Yes,
one,
sir.
this framing became easy. So can I just ask a suggestion? Since we are learning, can we follow the basic style of learning and can we come to the master level
Yes,
of
sir.
Yes.
application?
Yeah.
So is it okay? Can I do the next question
Yeah.
in the
Yes, sir. Yes.
basic
Sure.
style? But the students, this area no one knows. Okay, because I also did a lot of research, and this box method was taught by one engineering friend.
Oh,
You understand what I'm saying, Malik?
Mm.
And he only made me teach this way because even I did not know this properly. So can we start doing question 2, Malik? Everyone, yes or no?
Yeah.
yes.
Now, if you see 2, there are how many starting activities, students?
A and C.
A and C. So can I do the framing first? A,
Yes.
C. So AC is not dependent with anyone. Agree, no, students? Yes or no?
Yes.
It will start automatically. So if A is completed, what you will be getting, students?
B.
B, right? If A is completed, B will be forming. So can I put here as B? Any questions there?
No.
Okay. If C is completed, you will be getting what, students?
D.
D. Any questions there, students? No, right?
No.
And students, if you observe, in order to get E, what should happen?
B and D should go.
B and D should get intersected, right, Malik? Yes or no?
Yes.
So that will give you E. Can you complete the framing first, students? So I'll put A, B. Here I'll put E. Here I will put D. Here I'll put C. I'm just doing the box method without drawing the box. Is that fine, Malik? Yes or no? Just to save the time.
But sir, in the questions and everything, the node method is using. So this box method you did like the explanation, it was really well. So we can
Because
go ahead
for
with
case study application, Malik, box method is logical. You get what I'm saying, Malik?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
that node method is technical. You got the point what I'm saying now,
Yes.
Malik.
Yes.
Because of
Yes.
this box method only, you can do the interpretation, right?
Yes. Correct. So sir, we don't have to spend time on the box
Drawing.
method. Yes,
Spend
we'll
time, but
straight.
initially, let's go with the box to get the interpretation, right? You get what I'm saying, Malik?
Okay.
So ready, everyone? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, Malik, can we start working?
Yes, sir.
So what is the duration for activity A?
8,
8. What is the duration for activity C, students?
6,
6. What is the duration for activity B?
10,
10. What is the duration for activity D? 4.
4,
Oh.
What is the duration for activity 8?
8.
E8. Okay,
Yeah.
so students, this is clear for you all, right?
Yes.
So early start will be 0 for A and 0 for what? C.
C.
So 0 plus 8 is how much, students?
8.
0 plus 6 is how much, students?
6.
6.
6.
Do you have any questions with that?
No.
No. So what I will do is I'll draw a straight line. So Malik, can we continue, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So 8 is the earliest finish. So for this one, early start will be 8, right? After 8 days only you can start the project. Agree, no, Malik? So 8 plus 10 is how much, Malik?
18.
18. So that is clear, everyone, yes or no?
Yes.
So for D, if you see, in order to start it early, it should be 6 days, right? Within 6 days, you can start. So 6 plus 4 is how much, students? 6 plus
10.
4 is 10. Any questions there, students? Now, what's going to happen here is what, students? Intersection, right?
Yeah.
The intersection is going to take place. So when the intersection is going to take place for the earliest start, it's better to be the longer
Based on-
time, right? So can I
Yes.
say 18? Yes or no,
Ye-
students?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
18 plus 8 is how much, students?
26.
26.
26. Now we have completed the A, okay? That is the earliest from left to right. So can we start working from right to left? That is 26 minus 8 is how much?
18.
18. So here we have 18, and so I will put here as 18, and here also I will put as 18. That's fine normally, yes or no? So 10 minus 18 is how much, Malik? 8.
8.
And if you
Yeah.
observe 18 minus 4 is how much? 14, right?
14. Yeah.
And here it's going to be 14, here it's going to be 8. So 8 minus 8 is how much, Malik?
0.
0. 14 minus 6 is how much, Malik?
8.
Right.
14 minus 6 is 8. Agree? So students, now can we identify the critical path?
A, B, E.
A, B, and E, correct?
Yes.
So if you see C, this route is not critical. So I'll write down here A, B, and E. Any questions here, Malik, on the critical path?
No.
Is that fine? So students, now the box method is very logical, right, Malik? Yes or no? Very logical. So can we start with the node method? Yes or no, students?
Yes.
Yes.
So node method golden rule is every activity starts with a node and what?
And with node.
End with a node. So now node method, let's start working. So I will put a node here. Okay, students, shall we start working a node? Now the first activity will always have what, students? 0, right?
Yeah.
First activity is always what, students? A 0, that the class knows that. So students, I will put here the first activity here is going to be 0. Any questions there, students? The first activity is going to be what? 0. Fine with that, students? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, if the activity A is starting, so I will put here, because this one will be what, students? Activity A. Activity A will have a duration of 8 days. Is that fine, students? Yes or no?
Yeah.
And similarly, students, another proceeding activity will start from 0. That activity is activity what, students? C.
6.
And it is 6 days. Any questions there, students? So students, we need to start with a node and what, students? End with a node. That logic keep in mind. Okay. So if you observe here, if activity A wants to finish, the earliest time to finish this activity is how much, students? 8 days, right? Agree, no, students? Yes or no? Because 0 plus 8 is 8. That's fine, no, students, everyone? And
Yeah.
similarly, students, shall we do it for the next one also? Yes or no? Shall we
Yeah.
do it for the next one also? Yes, we can do it for the next one as well. So if you observe the next one, students, what I am going to specifically say here is the earliest event to finish, activity C will finish within how many days, students? 6 days. 0 plus 6 is 6. Any questions there, students? So if activity A is over, what will be the next activity that will be created, students? If activity A is over, then only you can start working with what? Activity B. And activity B will be taking how many days, students? 10 days, right, students? Yes or no? So if you want to complete activity B, okay, the completion, earliest completion will be within how many days, students, if I'm not mistaken?
18.
18 days. Is that fine with that, students? Yes or no? So it's going to give you 18. So I'm going to put this as the fourth one. And students, if activity C is over, what is the next proceeding activity that can happen, students? The next proceeding activity is going to be what, students? It's going to
D.
be activity D. So the time duration for activity D in this case is going to be how much? 4
4.
weeks, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yes. So if it is 4 weeks, students, can we complete that also? Yes or no? Yes, we can complete that also. So shall we finish it out, Malik? Yes or no? Yes, we can finish it out. So it's going to be how many days in total if you want to complete the activity D, students? It will be 10 days, right? Agree, no, students? Yes or no? Agree? So students, if you want, now see the next one. If you want activity E to happen, what should have take place, students? If you want activity E to happen, what should take place? These two should intersect. What should happen, students? These two should what, students? Intersect. Agree or not agree, students? Yes or no? Now these two should complete. These two should complete, and then only you can proceed with the next activity. Agree or not agree, students? Yes or no? So if these two are completing, now we need to go for the highest number. What is the highest number between these two, students? 18 and 10. What is the highest number, students? It is
18.
Okay.
18. So I'll put this as 18. So if this is over, then only what is going to happen, students? If this is over, then only what's going to happen, students? You can
E.
proceed with what, students? E. And for E, it will take how many days, students? 8. So if you want to complete the last activity E, eventually, students, if you observe, the total earliest time period is going to be how much, students? Please do let me know. The total earliest time is going to be 20 what, students? 26.
26.
Any questions there, students? Any questions there, students?
No, sir.
No, no, thank you.
So students, now, if you don't mind, can I start working with the latest time?
Yes.
So this is 6, this is 7. So I will put here as 26. So 26 minus 8 is what, students? 26 minus 8 is how much? 18, right? Correct. Now, if you observe here, there is nothing to be subtracted. So I'll put 18, 18. That's clear now, students. So 18 minus 10 is how much? 8. 18 minus 4 is how much, students?
14.
18, 14. Now, students, if you observe in this case, which number you are going to take? 18 minus 8 is 0 and 14 minus 6 is 8. So you will always go with what, students? 0, right? The lowest number. Agree, no, students? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is that clear? So if I am going to find the critical path, this is a critical path. A is a critical path. B is a critical path. And what? E is a critical path. Yes or no?
Yes.
So can I just say A, B, E is a critical path, students? Yes or
Yes.
no?
Yes.
Yes.
So students, if you don't mind, we are getting the same answer, right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
We are getting the same answer. So students, the slack, if you observe here, there is a slack of how many days for the C? For the C, there is a slack of 8 days, right? And that slack of 8 days. So these activities can be delayed by how many days, students? 8 days. Are you clear with that, students?
Yeah.
Any questions, students?
Fine.
Fine. Can we come for the bigger one? This is not tested in the exam, the bigger one. But shall we do it for our understanding purpose, Mauni, Malit, everyone? Can we start doing?
Okay.
Yes or no? Since the video is getting recorded, students, I prefer again, let's do the box method. Okay, students, yes or no? Because we
Yeah.
do have the MCQ question. In that, we will do directly. Fine. So students, can we start working? So if you observe this question, I just need to do some adjustment. Okay, do you see now the third one? Yes, it's very much clear. So can we do the framing for students now? I'm not going to do like that. I will just do the box directly. Can I put A here, yes or no? And then I can put the duration. Correct, no, students, below that. So A is done. A is very clear. So with A, what you can do is you can do what, students? You can do B and C. Okay, with C, D comes here, and with B, E comes. That's clear, no, students? And then there is DE 2 times that we need to be very careful. Do you see here DE 2 times, Maunir and Malik? Do you observe that?
Yes.
DE 2 times. So there is a double intersection. What is that, students? There is a double intersection. You get what I'm saying, students? Yes or no?
Mm.
So just be very careful. That's also manageable. So can we do that, students? So A. So what I will do is A will be developing 2 items. One, it will be what, students? B, right?
Yeah.
And the other one, it's going to be what, students? It's going to be what,
C.
students? C. Any questions there, students?
No.
No. And then C will slowly give you an item for what, students? A D, right? Yes or no, students? Agree? And then if you see B will slowly give you an item for what, students? B will slowly give you an item for what, students? E. Agree, no, students? Yes or no? Okay. Any questions there? Any questions there?
No.
Mm.
So now comes the challenge. Now comes what, students? The challenge, because see here, D and E will give a rising for what? 2
F.
components, right? Yes or no? So I'll put like this, D and E and a straight line. D and E and what are, students? A straight line. You get what I'm saying, Malik and Maunir. Maunir, do you
Yeah.
see here? D
Yeah.
and E and a straight line, and D and E will create 2 elements. What they will create? One it will create is what?
F and H.
And another one it will create is what, students?
H.
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 Any questions there, students?
No.
No. And then students, F will create what, students?
G.
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 G. That is very understandable. And G and H will create what, students? G and
I.
H will create the other one, which is I.
I.
So G and H will create I. So this is just a basic mapping we have done. Is that fine, everyone? Yes or no?
Mm.
So this is the framing done, but be very careful. This D and E, you get what I'm saying? No, students? Yes or no?
Mm.
Because D and E is creating 2 elements, but earlier D and E created only 1, but here D and E is creating 2. So what I can do is I will just do again. So for your understanding, A, what is the duration for A? 2 days, right? 2 days. Duration is what? 2 days. Agree, no, students? For B, what is the duration, students? 3. For C, what is the duration, students? 2. Agree, no, students? Yes or no? Okay. Then for D, what is the duration, students? D duration is how much? 4. For E, what is the duration, students? The E duration is how much? 4. Okay. And then students, for the F, what is the duration, students? F duration is what, students?
8.
8.
8.
And for the H, what is the duration, students? For H, the duration is 3. Agree, no, students?
3.
Yes or no? And then students, for G, what is the duration, students? G duration is how much? It is 4, right?
4.
If I'm not mistaken. And then students, for I, what is the duration, students? For
6.
I, the duration is how much, students? The I duration is how much? 6. Any questions with that, students? Yes or no? That's fine, right? So students, just I will mark these elements. This is 1. This is another line. This is another line. This is another line. And here, be very careful, students. These 2 needs to get joined. Okay. And then it's connecting. You get what I'm saying, no, students? Yes or no? These 2 are joining and then creating these 2. Agree, no, students? And then it will go with F and H. Just for your planning, F and H. And then students, it's going to be like this. Any questions here, students?
No.
So can we start working on the students, yes or no? Students, can we start working?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So early start is 0. 0 plus 2 is how much, students? 2. Agree?
True.
So for B, it's going to be 2 the early start. 2 plus 3 is how much, students? 5. For C also 2. 2 plus 2 is how much, students? 4, right? So here it's going to be 5. Here it's going to be 4. So 5 plus 4 is how much? 9. And 4 plus 4 is how much, students? 8. Any questions there, students? Now here you need to take the what number, students? Smaller number or the bigger number?
Bigger.
Bigger number.
Bigger number. 9 and 9. So 8 plus 9 is how much, students? 17. 9 plus 3 is how much, students? 12. Agree, no, students? 9 plus 3 is 12. 8 plus 9 is 17. So here 17. 17 plus 4 is how much, students? 21.
21.
Now here it's again an intersection. So you are going to take 12 or 21, students? The bigger
21.
number.
21.
21. So 21 plus 6 is how much, students?
27.
27. Any questions there, students? Any questions there?
Okay.
Okay. So students, 27 minus 6 is how much?
21.
27 minus 6 is 21. So I'll put 21. So here, students, it's going to be 21. And here also it's going to be 21. So 21 minus 4 is how much, students?
17,
21 minus 3 is how much, students?
19, sorry, 18.
18.
18. And 17 will come here. 17 minus 8 is how much, students? 9, right?
7. 9. 9.
9. And now, students, if you observe here, which number you are going to take? Bigger number or the smaller number? Smaller number,
Small
right?
number, yeah.
So 9 minus 4 is how much? 5. And here also 9 minus 4 is how much, students? 9
Five.
minus 4 is 5.
5.
Agree, no, students? 9 minus 4 is 5. So here it's going to be 5. 5 minus 3 is how much, students? 2.
2.
Agree, no, students? And here if you observe, again it's going to be 5. 5 minus 2 is how much, students? 3. So what is the smaller number between these two? 2, right? So 2 minus 2 is how much, students? 0. Are you fine with that, students? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes,
Yes, yes.
Students, can you please take that down? So can we do the critical path?
Yes. Sir.
A is a critical path.
Yes.
B is a critical path. E
E.
is a critical path. F is a critical path.
Mhm.
G is a critical path. And I is a critical path. Yes or no, students?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
if I want to make this answer correct, A, B, E, F, G, and what?
I.
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 Correct, no, students? Can
Yes.
we just do the slacking areas also? Yes or no? So here, if you see, you can finish it by 4 days or lately finish it by how many days, students? 5 days, right? So there is a slack of how many days, students? 1. Do you observe that, students? Yes or no?
Mm.
Are you clear with that, students?
Yes. So even
Now-
in H we have slack of 9.
Correct. Correct. And H also there is a slack of 9. Thank you for telling that. Fine with that, everyone? Yes or no?
Yes.
So can I come to the node method now, students?
Yes, yes.
So the golden rule of node method is what, students? Every activity starts with a node and what, students?
Ends with an.
Ends with a node. So I will start working here. So there should be a node anyway started. Okay, students, you should start with a node, and the node should always have a beginning worth of 0. Agree, no, students? Yes or no? So 0, the first one. Correct, no, students? So with this node, what can happen is, students, you will be eligible to complete a task called what, students? A. Agree, no, students? Yes or no? And A will be taking a duration of how many days, students? 2 days. Is that fine, students? Yes or no? So if you want to complete A should be completed. Agree, no, students? So maximum time, the earliest time A can be completed within how many days, students? If I'm not mistaken, it can be completed within how many days, students? 2 days, right? Yes or no? So it's going to be 2 days. Any questions with that, students? Is that fine for y'all?
Yeah.
So if A is completed, then you can go ahead with 2 activities. What are the 2 activities, students? One is B.
B.
And the B will be taking how many days, students? 3 days. Agree or not agree, Malik? Yes or no? And similarly, students, if you observe, C will be taking how many days, students? 2 days.
2.
Agree, no, students? So if you want to complete it, because starting with a node and ending with a node, so if you want to finish B, what is the earliest time to complete the B, students? 2 plus 3 is how much, students?
5.
2 plus 3 is 5, right?
5.
Agree, no, students? Yes or no? 2 plus 3 is 5. And then, students, if you observe the next one, if you want to complete the C area, if you want to complete what, students? A C area. So the
4.
answer, it's going to be, again, 2 plus 2, it's going to be how much, students? 4, right?
4.
Any questions there, students?
No.
So now, students, it's very clear. So if you want to start D, you should have to complete what, students? C. And if you want to start E, you should have completed what, students? E. So
E.
can I work out with that? Yes or no, students? Agree? So if this is completed, you can go ahead with what, students? If B is completed, you can go ahead with what, students? E.
E.
Agree, no, students? Which is 4 days.
Yes.
So I will just close the E work also. So if the E works needs to be finished, the early finish should be how much, students? 5 plus 4 is how much, students? 5 plus 4
9.
is 9. So earliest you can complete within 9 days. And similarly, students, can we do the next area also, if you don't mind? That is, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be D, right? D. Okay, students. So D will be taking how many days, students? 4 days, right? Agree, no, students? Yes or no? D will be taking 4 days. So if I'm not mistaken, students, what I'm going to do next, shall we complete it, students? Yes or no? Agree? So what's going to be the next aspect is, look at this carefully. 4 plus 4, D will be taking how many days to complete, students? 8 days, right? Agree, no, students? Yes or no?
Yes.
Any questions until that, students? Students, any questions?
Fine,
Fine.
sir.
Now, students, D and E should form a completion. Agree. D and E should form a completion to give you what, students? F and what, students? H. Agree, no, students? Yes or no? So what I want to do is I need to create another activity. Agree, no, students? These two should complete. Then only other activities can take place. Agree, no, students? Yes or no? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this. This is going to be the 5th one. This is going to be the 6th one. So I'm going to create a 7th activity, which should be a completion activity. What activity, students? Completion activity. If this is complete, only other things can go forward. Agree, no, students? So if you don't mind, students, just tell me out of this, which is the highest number? The
9.
highest number is 9. So earlier, the highest earliest is 9. So if this 2 is completed, then students, this will arise into 2 more area. One area is what, students? One area is
F.
F. So F, in order to complete F, it will take how many days, students?
8.
8 days. And the other one, if these 2 gets completed, it's going to form what, students? It's
H.
going to form H. So H will take place how many days, students? 3 days.
3.
Is that fine with that, students? Yes or no? So students, now I am telling you, I have done the starting date. So I need to finish with the node, right? So let's assume the earliest finish for F, that is 9 plus 8. How much is that, students? 9 plus 8 is how much?
17.
9 plus 8 is 17. And if I come to the earliest finish for the H, the earliest finish for H, which is
12.
9 plus 3, which is going to be how much, students?
12.
9 plus 3 is going to be 12. 9 plus 3 is going to be 12.
12.
So 9 plus 3 is 12. So any questions there, students? Any questions there, students? So students, now if F is completed and if this is so I'll put this as number 8 and this one is as number 9. So students, now let's go to the next one. If F is completed, it will form what, students? It will form what, students? G. So can I do the G, yes or no? So let's assume F is completed within 7 days, then you can do the activity G for a period of how many days, students?
4 days.
4 days. Any questions there, students? Yes or no? No questions there. So students, what I'm going to do next is, students, what I'm going to do next is, can we complete this, students? Yes or no? Yes, we can do the completion. So what I'm going to do here is, students, be very careful. That is 17 plus 4, it's going to give you how much, students?
21.
21. So G will be completed within how many days, students? Earliest it will finish by how many days, students? 21 days.
21.
Any questions with that, students?
No.
No questions with that, and that looks fine. And then students, look at that carefully. If you want to do I, what needs to happen, students? What needs to happen? G and H should be what, students? G and H should be completed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to again create what, students? An intersection. What I'm going to create, students? An intersection. Agree, no, students? So the intersection, what I'm going to create, it's going to be the 10th node. It's going to be what, students? The 10th node. Agree, no, students? Yes or no? So the 10th node here, I'll put here number 10. And what I'm going to do here, students, is, shall we start working, yes or no? Which is the highest number, students?
21.
21. So if this is to completed within 21 lifespan time, then only you can go ahead with the other one, which is what, students? I. And I will be how many days, students?
6.
6 days. So what I am going to do here is, students, I am going to connect that with another node. Agree, no, students? Yes or no? So what I am going to do is, students, I am going to put this as the 11th node. And what I'm going to do here, it's very simple. So 21 plus 6 is how much, students? 27. So totally the project will complete within how many days, students? 27 days. Any questions there, students? Students, any questions there?
Sir, fine.
No, sir.
So can I start working with the latest event?
Yes.
Yes. So students, 27. 27 minus 6 again will give you how much, students? 21.
21.
So I'll put 21, 21, nothing to subtract. That's clear, no? So
Yes.
21 minus 4 is how much, students?
17.
17. That is very clear. And students, 17 minus 8 is how much? 9, right? 17 minus 8 is 9. 21 minus 3 is how much, students? 18. So which is better? To always go with the lowest one, which is 9, right? Agree, no, students? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. And then, students, if you observe here, again intersection, nothing to deduct. So 9 and 9, that's clear, no, students? So here what I'm going to do is 9 minus 4 is how much, students? 5. And 9 minus 4 here is how much, students? 5. Agree, no, students? Yes or no? Now, students, what I am going to say here, if you observe, 5 minus 2 is how much, students? 3. And 5 minus 3 is how much, students? 2. So I will go with the lowest number. So 2 minus 2 is ultimately giving you an answer of how much, students?
0.
0. So can we go with the critical path now, students, if you don't mind?
Yes, sir.
Do you need time for writing it down?
No, finish, sir.
So
Yes.
I will put this, A is a critical path. Agree, no, students? B is a critical path. E is a critical path. Agree, no, students? Yes or no? Okay. And then, students, if you observe, these lines are going like this. And I feel F is also a critical path. F is also a critical path. And then G is a critical path. Okay, no, students? And ultimately, the last one is what, students?
E.
I is also critical path. So can we just go through the critical path?
Yeah.
So it's going to be A, B, E, A, B, E. Then we have F, G, I, F, G, I. Can we just compare this with the previous one? Yes, correct. Same answer, right?
Yes.
So students, can we do the slacking element also, if I'm not mistaken, yes or no? So the slacking element here, you have a 1 day slack, right, students? Yes or no? Here 1 day, here 1 day slack is there. You can delay it for 1 day, and here it's going to be how many days slack, students? 9 days slack, right? 1119. Agree, no, students? Yes or no? 119. Are you clear with what I'm saying there, students? Yes or no? 119. So any questions here, you can ask me, students, before I complete to the next section. Everything is fine, students? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Maunir,
Yes.
Malit,
Yes, sir.
Fauzan.
Yes, sir. Fine.
Now I am going to teach you OTQ question. Theory is over. So anything there, you all can ask me, students. You all can go through this. I feel effectiveness is there in today's session.
Yes.
Yes.
Can we start?
Yes.
Yes.
I believe there is no questions, no doubts, so we can start. So now, students, we are slowly moving into the MCQ section. What section, students? Now, this will be a MCQ question. Do you see a network diagram given, Malik?
Yeah.
Fauzan?
Yes.
Okay, it's your time. I will just watch your observation. Can you go through this and tell me the right answers? You must have a piece of paper or a pen in your hand or a scratch pad.
A and E answer.
Your answer is A and E, right?
Yeah.
My answer is AED.
Maunir, any answers?
A for sure, and
That is yeah, A and E.
A and D.
A and D. Okay. Let's go to the first one, option A. The project duration is 13 weeks. You can observe that clearly by looking at the last one, 13. Agree, no, students? So
Yes.
that is correct. The option B is clearly stating the critical path is A, D, G, and H. So if you see A, correct, okay. But if you see D, where is D, students? D is here, right?
No.
Agree, no?
Yeah.
But it's D forming an equal 4,
No.
10 by 10, no. So it's A, C. So if
and
you
H.
observe the critical path is A, C, okay. And then what's going to be the next one? F,
F,
right?
H.
F and
Yes.
H. This is the critical path. Any questions there, students? So option B is a wrong answer. Are you clear with that? So the critical path is A, C, F, H. Any questions there, students? Now can I come to the option number C, yes or no, students? So the option number C, they are saying activity B and E has a slack of how many weeks, students? 3 weeks. So if you observe B, okay, students, if you observe B, okay, 2 weeks should be taken. So 2 plus 4 is how much, students? 6, right? So earliest time for B to complete is 6, but the latest time is how much, students? 9. So 6 minus 9, what is the slack, students? Slack is how much?
3 days.
3. That's clear, no, students? So B is correct. And even if you see E, be careful. E is an intersection. Sixth one is an intersection. You get what I'm saying? So there are 3 proceeding activities so that H will form. So students, look at this carefully. 5 plus 6 is how much? 5 plus 6 is 11.
11.
4 plus 5 is how much? 4 plus 1 is 5. Agree, no, students? G. 4 plus 1 is 5. And 6 plus 2 is how much? 8. So 5, 11, and 8. What is the bigger number? 11, right?
11,
Yes
yeah.
or no?
Yeah.
So if you see 11 is the biggest number, that is the F, okay? That is the 5 plus 6 is 11. So 6 plus 2 is how much, students? 6 plus 2 is how much? 6 plus 2 is how
8.
much? 8. And 8 and 11, how much is the slack time period?
3.
3. So C is a correct answer. No one mentioned C. Can you make a note of that, students? Are you clear with what I am explaining, Malit? Yes or no? Did you get the slack?
So can you explain again? If you
Yes. Now, students, see carefully. B, they are telling there is a slack of how many weeks? 3 weeks. So earliest finish is 6. You can finish it
Correct.
6. Latest you can finish it 9. So how much is the slack period?
3 is there.
That's correct. No, are you clear
Yes.
with that? Yes
Correct.
or no?
Yes, that is clear.
That's clear. Now, if you see this sixth one, it is a proceeding activity of 3 things. Yes or no, Malit?
Yes.
3 things should complete. So if you observe here, 6 plus 2 is 8. 6 plus 2 is
Yes.
how much? 6 plus 2 is
8.
8.
Yes.
5 plus 6 is how much? 11.
11.
5 plus 6 is 11. 4 plus 1 is how much? 5. 4 plus 1 is 5. Agree, no, Malit? 4 plus 1 is 5. So you have 3 options for the earliest: 5, 11, and 8. So what is the biggest number? Biggest number
11.
is that only they have taken. We know that no, we should take the biggest number. So if you see here, E, 6 plus 2 is how much? 6 plus 2 is 8, right?
8.
But the maximum number we have taken is what? 11. Agree normally. So 8 and 11, there is a slacking period of how much?
3 days.
3. Are you clear normally? Yes or no?
No,
But
yes,
for F,
yes.
do they have any slacking period? 5 plus 6
No.
is how much? 11. So F, you can't delay it by any chance. Are you clear with what I'm saying? Agree?
Yes. Yes.
Fauzan, is that clear for you, Fauzan? Yes or no? That's slack.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Then D and G has slack of 7 weeks. So can we just observe that, Malit? Yes or no? So easily you can. 4 and 6, 4 and 10. What is the difference, Malik? 4 and 10 is
60.
how much? 6 row. So that is wrong, right? Yes or no? This is wrong. Can we just observe G also, if I'm not mistaken? G. So if you see G, look at this carefully, Malik. Total is 11 that we took from F's total, right? Agree? No?
Yes.
Total 11. So if you see 5 plus 4 plus 1 is 5 and the total is 11. So it is 6, right? Not 7. It is
6.
again 1. So are you clear with that, Malik? Yes or no? That
Yes.
observation.
Yes.
So option D is also a wrong one. And E is in the critical path. No, E is not in the critical path. Agree or not agree, Malik? F is only in the critical path, not E. You get the point what I'm saying. Because if you observe E, 6 and 9 is there, right? You get what I'm saying. 6 and 9 is not equal, right? So this path is cancelling, right? Agree normally. Critical path is the path in which the earliest and the latest will be what? Same. Are you
Equal.
getting that point? Clear, Malit? Yes or no?
Yes.
So
Yes.
the
Yes.
correct answer in this question is A. And what, students?
C.
Now are you clear why I took that box method, Malit?
Yes, sir.
Box method interpretation is very clear. Are you getting that point of view, what I'm saying there, Malit? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I come to the next question? Fauzan, any doubts you have, you can ask me. Can I come to the next question?
Yes, sir. Fine.
Malit, this question came in the exams?
Yes, these kind of ones came, sir.
Super. Question 5. Can we go through? It's a very easy question. Question 5, very simple question. Can you all tell the answer, please? Float means like.
B. The
The correct answer is?
B.
What about Malit? Fauzan?
B, I think.
B?
Yes, B.
B, right? Theory question, right? Yes
Yeah.
or no, students? B is
Yes.
wrong because latest event is not left to right, it's right to left,
Right.
backwards,
Yeah.
right, students? Question number 6. Don't make mistake. 2 minutes time I am giving. I will 1.5 minutes. Start doing that, students.
C.
I will write that. Maunir? Fauzan?
C, sir.
Maunir?
Yeah, C.
The correct answer is C, students. Why? I will explain it. There is no slack in activity B, correct, right? Yes or no, students? Because no slack, right, students? Yes or no? Zero slack. But if you see, students, if you observe this very carefully, activity B is on the critical path. Actually, that is also, there is also a false, right? Agree or not agree, students? Yes or no? Because there is a slack. I'll tell you how there is a slack. 5,
Yes.
okay, 5 minus 3 is how much, students? 5 minus 3 is how much? 2.
2.
If you observe 3 minus 3 is 0, right? No slack here, but
Yeah.
there is a slack of 2. And B can overrun by how many weeks? 2 weeks. Is it possible? Yes or no? Of course.
Yes.
Because students, you can delay the V by 2 weeks, because if you observe, it's a true, right? Because C, students, A and C totally completing how much? 5, right? A and C. But if you see here, they are saying B can only start after completion of A. No, C only can start after completion of A. Agree, no, student? So the correct answer in this is C. Now, are you finding critical path analysis
Sir,
manageable?
if the answer activity B can overrun by even if they mention 1 week also, is the answer is right?
No, wrong. It
Overrun
should
by
be absolutely correct.
absolutely
It should be
correct. Huh?
true. Absolutely correct. Because if you observe the previous question, we did that. No. Now, if you observe in this question, 7 and here 6
Yeah,
was there.
yeah.
So they will give you absolute figures. You get the point.
Absolutely. Yes.
Absolute numbers. You get 4 minus.
And it should be on the both activities. It should have the same slack numbers, no?
Slack
Not
numbers.
the
Correct.
yes.
Correct. So students, it's not a difficult one, but very easy, students. What do you think? Manageable, right?
Yes.
Malit,
Yes.
manageable, right? MCQ is manageable, right? If I'm not mistaken, yes or no, Malit?
Yes.
You can
yes.
eliminate the wrong one and get the right answer. In
Yes.
case you stuck, you can eliminate the wrong one and get the right answer. So this is the understanding. So any questions here, students? So that is fine, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Fine. Yeah.
Yes.
So one thing I just wanted to show you all, just 5 minutes of your time. Now, can you remember, Fauzan, you are asking that flag option, everything, yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So I will give you a PDF document also in our classroom. So just a minute, students. So Fauzan, if you observe in Google, you go to Google and just type Sima Pearson, okay? Then Fauzan, you will see the Sima question tutorial. Sima question what, Fauzan? Tutorial. And in the Sima question tutorial, what you need to do is you need to sign in, okay? It's a new account you need to purchase. No need to pay money for this. Are you following, Fauzan? Hello, Malit, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm following. Yeah.
Yes. So I am just logging into my system. I'll tell you how you can log in. Okay, students. So one thing, the aptitude test is not having that. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go for the view exams. Okay, Fauzan. So when I go for the view exams, you have all the sample tests like case study, everything is there. So instead of going for E2, what I'm going to do is, students, I will go with a subject like F2, because E2, if I show you must practice this question. after doing the aptitude test. Okay, we have 2 aptitude tests now. There is one mock in this website you must practice. So I'll just go to this. Okay, Maunir,
Yes.
and then I just need to go to proceed to checkout, and then I need to accept the policies. And when I do that, students, I need to submit the order. That means I'm not paying anything. This is the process. And when I submit the order, I need to go to begin the exam. Okay. And when I go to the begin the exam, students, it will come as loading the exam. Okay, Fauzan. And the exams will be like this in your reality. Okay.
Yes.
And I'm going to press the yes. And now, students, do you see something called flag for review?
For
Yes
review,
or no?
Yes.
Now, in the aptitude, you don't have that. Now, I'll just click this 21,000, and I'm going to click this one, flag for review. And I'm going to go for the next question. And in that, I am confident this is right answer. Then I will click the next one. Okay.
Okay.
And in the next one, like that, I will click. This is a bigger one. I will click this one. And then I'll put flag for review. Are you fine with that, Fauzan? Yes or no? And likewise, you are slowly going to the, let's assume like this, you are going to the 10th question. Now in the 10th question, you won't remember which question you have flagged. Then you need to click the navigator. When you click the navigator, do you see the flag coming here? Do you see this? Yes or no? Do you observe this, Fauzan? Do you see the flag navigator? Yes or no? Navigator.
Yes.
In the navigator, do you see here? Complete, but what is there?
Yeah.
Flag. Then you need to quickly go to this section, and it will automatically take it. No need to go one by one. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes.
So this is how you can save time. Are you
Yeah.
getting what I'm saying there, Maunir, everyone?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Mm.
So students, initially you should complete all the question. Whatever you have doubt, you need to put what? A flag. You get what I'm saying, Fauzan.
Yeah.
And likewise, when you come to the 35th question, you can go to the difficult question later. Are you clear? Don't
Yes.
do it question by question. Unfortunately, students, we do not have in aptitude test the flag option, right? Yes.
Yes.
And Malit, I think, are you doing a scratch pad in the workings, if I'm not mistaken? Malit, when the calculation come, did you do the scratch pad last time?
F2, yes.
Yes, right? You do the scratch
Yes.
pad and get the answer. And I think, Malit, no need on-screen calculator, right? You can carry your own
No need, sir.
calculator. No
Yes,
need,
yes,
right?
yes.
And the tables and formulas also given, Malit. Yes or no? Do you have
Yes.
the present value table, cumulative, normal distribution, and formula? But I don't think for FE2 that is required, right? Students, E2, it may
Yes.
not be required. So, Fauzan, are you clear with what is flag for review option?
Yes, sir. Fine.
Maunir, are you clear with what is flag
Yes.
option?
Yes.
Okay, so students, can we have the next class on Sunday, next alternative day? Is it fine for you all, students?
Yes.
So tomorrow, can you practice the mock number 1 in the aptitude test? There is a mock, right? Yes or no?
Mm.
Malit, can you do the mock in the aptitude 1?
Sure.
Sure, right? So students,
Yes.
on Sunday, I will take the class in the night time. I will update it in the group. We will do question practice on project management, and most probably all the areas are done. And then we can do the aptitude number 2 and finish it off. Malit, are you fine with that plan? Yes or no, Malit? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Super. So continuously we will have classes alternative days, students. So successfully we have completed the network diagram. So I think students, now we need to go through the other areas like Porter's 5 forces, diamond, all. So anyway, Friday is a class must. Even if we have a class on Thursday, Friday is a must class. Is that fine, everyone? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you very much, students.
Thank
See
you.
you on Sunday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.